All right. It's our favorite day of the week, Tuesday. Thank you so much. Thank you for each and every person who follow us on our YouTube page, who also catch us on our podcast outlets. We always want to start off with a gratitude of thanks, thanking each and every one of our supporters for rocking with the dumping ground. We're out here in these streets making it do what it do, what it do. So nothing more than another amazing Tuesday to having a business owner on our show and our platform to talk about their brand, their baby, all that good stuff, their wins that they have, that we're able to celebrate their wins with them, celebrate who they are, celebrate what they're doing in their business, in their community, all the good things. We can get behind them, support them, rally around them, and continue to allow them to shine and be great, because that's what our mission and goal is. As we have a quote for 2023, because guess what? We're about to enter in 2024. So that means we're going to have a new quote that's coming up, right? So, but to this year, our quote is from Jonathan Swift. Vision is the art of seeing what is invisible to others. Vision is the art of seeing what is invisible to others. And that's Jonathan Swift. So every day you need to be making a vision, a plan. Some people may not be able to see your vision, understand your vision, and that's okay. Once you start walking into it and doing your step by step, then they'll be like, oh, I see what you're trying to do here. And sometimes you just have to keep going with the flow. How do you eat a big elephant? One bite at a time, one step at a time. So that's our shout out, encouraging word for today from the Dumping Ground platform, right? Right? Okay. As you guys know, we're always celebrating our wins, celebrating yourself, your goals. Once you get those goals completed, pat yourself on the back, not into pride, but just the accomplishment that you have put that time in, the endurance, blood, sweat, and tears. Pat yourself on the back, throw your hands up, and be like, yeah, I did that thing, and move on to your next goal, right? But take a moment, take a beat, take a moment to breathe in and breathe out and celebrate that moment. So none other than today, of course, we have to, again, have a business owner who's on the show, who's out here as like a digital strategist, marketing. Everybody wants this person because everybody's got podcasts and YouTube channel. This is the new universe, the new world that we're living in. And you always want to have someone who's have that smartness to be able to take you from 0 to 100. You may not be able to do that by yourself, so you may have to outsource it to someone else who's a little bit smarter than you. But that's okay, right? Because where you're weak, somebody else can have those same strengths and be able to make your brand better and greater. So sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, right? So today we're out here doing what we got to do, right? We have this digital marketing strategist on our team that's going to help you. She's out here making these 6-figure deals. She has a master class that she can get you in a 90-day master class to get you in, to get your numbers. What do you have to do? You know what I'm saying? So today we have Akelia, right? Akelia, right?
Am I still muted?
Yep, you're on.
Okay. Okay, I'm unmuted.
And the name of her business is
Launch, profit, and grow.
launch, profit, and growth. And that's something that we all want to do. We want to launch, right? We want to profit and we want to grow. So we will need people like her on our team or in our corner or around the corner, up the street, down the street, somewhere in the middle of this picture to help us get us to our destination and where we're trying to go with our vision. So today we just thank Kiki for coming on and sharing her vision and how she got into this and how she can encourage us business owners to keep thriving and setting our goals for 2024 so we can keep these number game, because it's a number game, right? We have to keep these numbers up and be able to know who we need to market to and all these different things in this game called YouTube podcast. So I'm going to let her give her a little shout out and her win on what she's doing and how we can celebrate her. So it's on you.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you so much. And of course, the day that I'm on the podcast, I get a cold. So I'm sorry if I'm gonna be coughing.
That's okay.
It's a hot mess. Okay. I have a toddler
It's
and
okay.
he brings all the germs.
That's okay. This is what we call life. If
This is definitely like
right, and it wouldn't be real if we didn't have those different challenges and adversities that comes along with this. So this is the authentic piece about our show. Hey, we understand you got family life, and this is just a little piece of it, and we're walking beside you. So if your toddler walk in the room, we be like, "What's up?"
Exactly. Just tell him what's up, and I'll be like, "Go to bed."
We understand, we get it. I'm a
It's
mother
past his
too.
bedtime, so
Right,
but
right.
he might pop in to say
Hey,
what's
so
up.
I'm a mother too. My daughter's 24, and I understand how
Oh
it is.
wow.
And you just gotta, when you juggling, you just gotta throw those juggle balls in the air, and and manage that. So salute you, Mom. You doing your thing.
Yes, you too, Mom. You're killing it. You're killing it with this podcast and like this audience and this network and these people that are so excited to come on every week with you and like tune in to like I've seen all your amazing guests and all the convos happening, and this podcast is you're really doing a good job. So I
Thank
salute you too.
you. Thank you so
You're doing
much.
good. You're doing
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah. Like that's literally a part of my job is like really my business is helping us get visible, right?
Mhm,
Like us as small business. And I
mhm.
don't even really like to use that term too much,
Me
small,
either. Me
right?
either.
Yeah, because I'm not trying to like,
Speak
speak
that
down
into you.
on
Yes,
our
yes,
exactly.
yes,
We're on the
yes,
same wavelength,
yes.
right? But how the world classifies us as, but
Absolutely.
I like, say entrepreneurs, online entrepreneurs,
Absolutely.
mompreneurs.
Yep.
Um, we basically need that visibility, and this
Mhm.
podcast is you're doing that for yourself and for so many other business owners. So I appreciate you and I thank you
Yeah.
because you're helping with that visibility, because there's so many people, there's hundreds and thousands and hundreds of thousands of people that need what you have, what I have, what the listeners have, right? So how are they going to be able to actually hear that if we're not spreading our message, if we're not being visible, if we're not like showing up, right? Even when it's inconvenient, even when you have a cold, even when you're toddler gonna bust in the room, you're still showing up.
Yes. Yes.
So
And my thing is you don't want your brand to always be the best kept secret, right? Like
mhm.
you want at some point you want to be able to showcase, because you can have an amazing product, you know what I'm saying? So our platform is the place where hey, it's free marketing, you know what I'm saying? We're here to serve others. That's our goal here, is to
Yep.
make sure that we serve others. And in life, that should always be our goal. Like that's how you're going to make it, you serving or
Absolutely.
serving to, and even in a business, you have a service, you provide a service, and in that service you want to make sure that it's A1, and even your product, you can have the best product and your service is hard. Like we have noticed with our amazing Keith Lee, as he came to Atlanta, he didn't have the best experience, you know what I'm saying? And he wanted everybody to be treated equally, right? Sometimes that's too with the status quo, because I am this and I have this and I have that. As I live in Atlanta. So do you live in Atlanta?
No, I'm in Texas.
So in Atlanta, right? So just a whole little thing about Atlanta, everybody wants the status, the accolades and the I'm big and I make this quote and I'm in this tax bracket. And then so Keith Lee came here. I think he's in Houston this couple of weeks, this week or last week or something like that. He was in Houston and he had such an amazing experience versus what he had in Atlanta. And
Wow.
this is what we need to learn and understand. People will pay for customer service experience, a service too. That is the people. I will pay for great customer service, but lately I've noticed that we have slacked off so bad on service, and we have to get back to that fundamental, because you can have the best product in the world, but if I come into your store and it's the worst service, guess what? Hashtag I'm writing a review
Bouncing
and I'm
right.
gonna tell them that your service is horrible, right? And I don't care how great your product is. I'm not gonna spend with a company that doesn't appreciate me as a person and
Yep.
bringing me the value as a person and respecting that. So I don't know how we got off on that topic,
I
but
know.
I don't know.
But
Sometimes,
it's a good one.
but
You just let it
you
flow.
know what I'm saying? So I just think, that is just important. And with you, especially with you, people need to understand their strategies and understand how marketing work. And I think especially with like podcasters and YouTubers, we're just basically, we just have a vision. Like for me personally, my husband gave me this vision and he was like, babe, I think you should do X, Y, and Z. And I'm just like, you know, like, how am I going to do that? You know what I'm saying? And I downplayed it and I danced around it for years, like literally 2 years. I just now launched the YouTube piece in February of this year. I had a radio show and the radio show was doing amazing. But I don't think you was getting the full essence of who I was because I was comfortable and hiding behind the, I don't want the cameras. I don't want to put, the insecurities of that piece. But learning the digital marketing piece is so important. So I'm so glad that you were here, because I know with Facebook and Instagram and all that, you could pay for these ads, but sometimes the ad still doesn't do anything. It doesn't bring any traffic. It doesn't do anything. So people like you with that knowledge to tell you how to zoom in demographically, we need that. So I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna let you have it.
No, you're right on. You're right on track. Honestly, a big part of what I do in digital marketing is the paid ads, because I'm really into speed. I'm impatient, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So that part just appealed to me, and I'm not downplaying doing things organically, but honestly, who I really appeal to are people like me who appreciate speed. Mm-hmm. And now, as a new mom in the last year, my time is very, very valuable. Absolutely. So I'm not going to spend it posting. I'm not going to spend it tweeting. I'm not going to spend it making reels, 3 reels a day. Like, I just can't. I don't have the time. So if I can make one piece of content and send that out to hundreds of thousands of people while I'm asleep, while I'm playing with my kid, while we're at the zoo, and people are coming to my sales pages and checking out and seeing my offers and coming to my podcast. Like if I had a podcast, right? If people are being exposed to your brand or seeing your face while you're out doing something, then I'm all for that. And that's really what my brand is all about. Launch. How do you launch? How do you get an ad up and running? Profit. How do you make money from it? How do you not just, give all your money away, but get something back, right? And then grow, which is like scaling. Like, how can you actually take this and become a large enterprise business, a larger business, a business that you can pass down to your kids, a business that's going to give you that generational wealth. That's the growing and the scaling. Mm-hmm. Because you can't be the only one like this poking around. That's not a business that's going to grow. That's not a business that's going to scale without you. So yeah. I'm all about, how do we pull you out of the business eventually, right? We're our faces, we're the face and brand of our business and things like that. But how do we pull you out, bring in those, like, leverage those systems? And I feel like that's a big thing in my community, because I'm a woman of color, of course, and I help a lot of other men and women of color. And I noticed that a lot of us are scared of using tools, and it's literally leverage, right? So if I gave you a task and I said, you have to, we're building a house up that hill, and I need you to bring these boulders, like a big boulder up that hill. Mm-hmm. Are you going to start rolling it and pushing it? No. Or are you going to use, the wheelbarrow that's right there and easily just roll it up, right? So you're leveraging that tool to help you to get the end result. Definitely. It's not like the person that's going to wheel it, they're still going to get up the hill. It's just going to take a lot more energy, time, strength, all that stuff, when you can do it with ease. So that's how I like to look at marketing, especially using paid ads, that a lot of people are just really scared of tapping into. But these are leverage points, and I'm really all about, like, spreading my message that we need to tap into these tools, because guess what? Someone with a business that is not even as good as yours, a service that's not even as good as yours, a podcast that's not even as good as yours, a message that God has given them that is that they don't have,
Mhm.
they're leveraging all these
Right.
tools and all these systems in order to get their message across, in order to make money in their business, in order to change their life and their family's life. And we're just like, we have like, I don't know, a hard time kind of wrapping our head around actually using
That,
these tools, and
that
like,
is
let
that
me
is
spend some
true.
money first.
That is so true, especially with like you. So I stopped saying, because it used to be our title used to be small business alert, and then I was like, your words are so powerful. I don't want to keep speaking that. It said don't despise small beginnings, but I don't want, it doesn't always have to stay small, right? So I don't
Exactly.
want to be the one that keeps speaking, because there's life and death in your tongue. I don't want to just keep saying that. So now, no, we're business owner alerts. We're business owner alerts, and we're featuring whoever it is, because that, to me, at first it was cute, right? But some of these people are solopreneurs, but that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't always have to be a solopreneur. If you are, I think too, like you said, we're scared. We don't know. Okay, I live in Atlanta, all right? Scam city.
Girl,
You know what?
that's everywhere,
You
but
don't know what
you
these people are doing out here in these streets. I'm just gonna keep it a buck, right? So you really have a hard time. That's why I love my network, because I'm always like, I need somebody to vouch. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that character of that person. So if most of my show is word of mouth, right?
Mm.
Most of the people that come in, every now and then, if you probably follow me, if not, I will post like, hey, the dumping ground is looking for business owners, nonprofits, right? Hey, check me out, DM me, blah blah blah. I'll get some every now and then, you know what I'm saying? And guess what? I'm totally okay with that, because I want the people who's assigned to me and who's really serious about their product and who's serious about their goals and what they're trying to do. That's who we want to get behind and hold up their crown and say, hey man, I got you. You know what I'm saying? This is what we need to do. I might know Susie up the street. She got this X, Y, and Z. Maybe you and her can coordinate. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Yeah.
So I think networking is so important too, but along with your piece, with the digital piece, if you don't know that piece, like some of these business, I don't even know that piece. Like I haven't even mastered, and I've been around for 3 years. Like I said, I had 2 years was on my radio show. That was doing great. And this year in February, I launched my YouTube piece, and I got 64 subscribers. But guess what?
Wow.
I'm like,
That's a start. You start
I'm not,
somewhere.
you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, so next year my goal is to double that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
Absolutely.
so I don't want to have to. I don't know. I want to be able to be. I want my growth to come, like you said, and profit and stuff. Because my husband's like, well, it's time for you to start profiting on your show. I'm just like, but first of all, I'm still a new show, right? I don't have Rockefeller name behind my name, right? So I still have to take, it's a big elephant. I have to take this thing one by one, a small bite size, and network with the right people, like networking with you and getting to know what I need to dive into to, and what other business needs to dive in to put their attention on, because sometimes we may not understand that part of that side. You know, that's like
Yeah.
in the beginning. And you have the knowledge. You would be a fool not to invest in it, so you won't be able to grow. You know what I'm saying? I hope
Yeah.
it makes sense. Am I
Yeah, no,
making sense?
100%. And like exactly what you're saying makes sense. But don't worry, I got you. Now you know me. We're in we're you have me in your network. So I mean, I'm an open book. I really want to be able to like answer maybe any
Mhm.
kind of question that like you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And it's
Right.
like you can't ask stuff if you absolutely have no idea. Um so yeah, I don't know if you want I have a lot of stuff I could talk about, but like
Yeah. So how did you, so my question is, how did you get into this? Like, is this something you went to college for? Like what gave you the urge to do this?
I was broke. Well, I mean, that's, yeah, partially true. So I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I dabbled in things. I dabbled in like real estate. Like I used to rent. I was just a hustler. I think I was just a hustler all the time. Since I was young, I used to rent out. I had this apartment, and I used to rent out. I'm Canadian, by the way, so I grew up in Canada, and there was no such thing as Airbnb and stuff like that. But I used to rent out my apartment, like a room, on what is our equivalent of like Craigslist. And I don't know what made me so bold to do that, because there's so many creepy people.
Yes.
As a little young girl. So I'm like, I mean, I have this space. Why don't I just let someone use it, you know? So I mean, granted, sometimes I would rent the whole apartment. It was just a 1-bedroom apartment, really small, but I went off to university and I'm like, they can use it while I'm not there. I can make money. Like, it just made sense. So I used to do stuff like that. And then I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I basically, well, that's not entirely true. I went to school to be a lawyer because I thought, oh, I want to be successful and I want to wear a suit. And I don't know, I just want to be like a businesswoman. Until honestly, it was the Holy Spirit, because I'm prayerful and I believe in God. And it was just like, I spent years and money and so much money and time getting into school, and I got the acceptance letter. And then now that it was like a reality, like, okay, I got accepted. I'm like, you know what? This is not what I'm called to do. I'm not called to be a lawyer, because what happens when I want to get married one day? And granted, I was like in my early 20s, like not thinking about marriage and kids like that, like nowhere close to it. But I was like, what happens when I get married one day and I have a kid? Like, I'm not going to have any time to spend with them, because I'm going to be working as, trying to get these billable hours and stuff. I'm like, this is not what I'm called to do. And it was like, it was instant. It was instant, and it's crazy. And I know it was from God, because I was obsessed. Everything about me was all about lawyer, pre-law. And then it just dropped like that in the drop of a hat. It was just like, no, go into entrepreneurship. And I was like, yep, that's what I'm going to do. So I started seeking this thing out. I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any connections. I didn't even hardly know anybody that was, had their own business. So I dabbled in a few different things, and, e-commerce was always a big thing, like sell something online and make all of this money. So I basically used my entire life savings to open up an e-commerce store selling these little handbags. I literally have them right beside.
Oh my God.
Okay, this was years ago. And I literally, I'm so extra. I flew to Italy. I'm like, I'm going to go get me the product. Like, I didn't know that they could just like mail it to you. I'm like, I got to go get it. So I'm like, I got to go pick it out in person. And also like you, like, I didn't want to get scammed. And I'm like, I don't want them to just take my money. And then what if they don't send me the stuff? I'm like, I'm going to go pick it up. So I literally flew to Italy, flew to factories of handbag factories, grabbed all these products and different swatches. And I'm like, yes, I want it like that. And I want it like that. So I did it completely wrong. I went and bought all this inventory, bought all these things, and I came home, I had no idea how to market it. I was like, okay, I put it up on my site, and I'm like, okay, I'm about to be rich, right? I'm in my my house, and I'm like, okay, no sales. So basically no sales, right? Like my family members, some friends that knew I was selling the thing after I posted, bought, some bags. But after that, it was like my pipeline was dry. So I'm like, how do you do a business online? Like, I'm supposed to be rich. I used my life savings. That was like 30 grand. Now I have nothing. So I had to go get a job, of course. And I had met my husband the same exact time. So he was like, you have to market. And I'm like, whatever. You don't even know what you're talking about. I know what I'm talking about. And I was just so hard-headed. But yeah, like I had to learn how to market. I literally had to learn how to market to pay my bills, because the 9-to-5 job didn't sustain me. And so I was like, I have to learn about this marketing thing. So it was like, oh, I need $5,000 to buy someone's program on how to market. I did that, right? That was a part of that 30 grand that I lost. That person didn't teach me anything, right? And it was like, oh, another person's like, oh, you have to buy this $5,000. And I'm like, okay, well, now I have no money. So I was basically like, okay, you got bills coming up. You have no money. you need to still pay your rent. Like, what do you have to, what are you going to do? So I started studying marketing. I literally just bought books. I'm like, what's the cheapest thing I could buy? A $7 book on Amazon. Bought a couple of those, read them, and started learning. And then I immediately just sold my services. Like, hey, I'll be your social media manager. And just worked from there. I was getting paid $150 a week to be a social media manager. And I still remember it like it was yesterday. And it was like, okay, humble beginnings. This is where I'm starting. And that was about 6 years ago now. And by the grace of God, I just stuck with it, and I loved it. I fell in love with it. And that's basically how I got into actually paid media, because I was posting organically and doing things. But until I started actually like using paid ads, I just got really good at it, because it was kind of complicated, to be honest. Like, it's straightforward, but it was like the platform can be confusing, and then it's like it's kind of analytical a little bit. You kind of got to be creative a bit, and I just, by the grace of God, I had good mentors and I learned from them. And I just got better and I got the hang of it, and I was just like, okay, I get this thing. And I just loved seeing the returns and how fast it was. So we can spend $500 this week, and next week we can make $10,000, $5,000. And I'm like, that's so dope. Like, I love those, like, those quick turnarounds.
That's beyond dope. I mean, you pay $500 and you ain't got a $10,000. That's $500 and 100,000 times.
Right. And I was like, that's the best. So to me, when I was talking about leverage, that's the best type of leverage I've ever seen. Right. Like, you putting $100, even if you put $1, like, let's say $1, you put $1 into this machine, and then you get $7 back every time. You're going to keep putting, here's some more dollars. You're going to keep throwing money at it. Give me back that 7, give me back that 10. Every time I put 1, I'm getting 10 back. Right. And that's kind of the idea about it. That's the idea that I just literally just fell in love with. Like, why isn't everybody doing this? But like you said, it's confusing, and you don't know what you don't know. And you don't even like, is it going to work for me? Maybe you try it. You press the boost button on Instagram. Okay. It says you made a good post. Try boosting it. Okay. Let me boost it. And then you're like, where's the sales? Nothing. Let me boost it again. Maybe it didn't work. Where's the sales? Nothing, I did that when I had the bags. I was boosting left, right, and center. And I'm like, nobody's buying the stuff. Like, what? Nobody's buying. Like, and like, do they know that I went to Italy for
Absolutely. This? They gotta understand the story that went with this. Oh my God. But that's because most people think the money is in affiliate, especially for this type of platform, it's in affiliated marketing. But even in affiliated marketing, you're not really making a whole bunch of money with the affiliated marketing, because you're only getting a percentage of the sell. You know what I'm saying? So, you're like,
so right about that.
So at some point and then they were like, well, just get sponsors. Okay, but still, even with a sponsor, you're only getting a portion of.
Let me just say, mostly everything that we're doing is as a business, whether you have a brick and mortar and someone's coming to your shop, you're selling online handbags or clothes, you're selling your services as an accountant, you are an online creator with a podcast and an online course and a group coaching program. Everything you have to have an element of a marketing hat, right? We are the CEOs, we are marketers, we're our operations manager, we're the fulfillment, we're all the things, right? Until you're able to go out, because I really help solopreneurs, because that's how most of us, we all started, right? And even some of us don't desire to grow very huge teams, right? Like, but you have to have an element of, a marketing hat. You have to be able to put that on and take that off. So you can't just be like, stick your feet in the sand and be like, no, they better just find me. They better just find my stuff.
You'll never have it. You'll never have anything if they would just find me.
Yeah. And you're going to be the best kept secret. Exactly. And I'm just like, no, enough is enough. So for me, I spent several years selling my services and being like, let me run your ads for you. Let me get the return for you. But I realized after a few years, especially is when I got pregnant with my son, and my husband and I were like, you cannot do the same amount of like put the same amount of energy into all these people's businesses anymore.
Yeah.
Like even physically, I was like in my mind, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do everything. But my body was like, girl, have several seats. Like go sit down.
Absolutely.
Like I just was out, sleeping.
Absolutely.
I slept for the whole 9 months. But guess what? My business was running. My business was still running because I had put in place a funnel that I had seen my big clients doing it with big budgets. And I'm like, I don't have those big budgets. I'm just the behind the scenes person that knows how to click the buttons, but I'm not the brand. I'm not the face. Right. So I had to overcome my own limiting beliefs and what like the whispers that the enemy is telling me, like, you're not big like that, big, what are like Marie Forleo? Like, you're not Marie Forleo. What are you talking about? You can't do, but it's not, it's absolute lie. Right. So I had to come, and I'm still getting over that too, right? Like I'm forcing myself to become more visible and things like that. So like even something small for me is I'm always going to have an ad running. Go to my Facebook ads library. You're going to see an ad running right now. An ad is always going to be running for me. Always, 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 because that's just a method whereby I'm forcing myself to be visible.
Yeah. So
yeah, and like my face, like I can have ads that don't have my face on it, but I purposely put stuff that has my face on it.
That's good.
Because that's just a way to help, like, break me in, like, yes, you are the brand. So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of like, got a little bit off, but I believe that every one of us needs to do the same thing, have an element of, even if you don't want to spend, you don't have to spend $1 million. You can spend $5 a day. Nowadays with Reels, you can literally spend $1 a day.
Wow.
And you know what that's going to do? That's what my mentor calls a Coca-Cola effect, right? That $1 is probably not going to get you sales. I'm not going to blow smoke,
Yeah, right.
That is to get your face and the dumping ground, the visibility, the brand awareness, right? You don't have to have $100,000 for brand awareness. You can have $1, right? So I run like a $5 thing that I don't even think about. I just leave it, and it's just there, 365. It's going to be there running. And because I had a system in place, because I had an ad funnel in place, I was able to be pregnant, and I was able to finally that was my first year hitting 6 figures.
Nice.
Because I was and it was crazy. I worked 50% less than I ever had before. And I was just like, wow, the amount of work that I did before and the favor of God, and just like using those tools that were available to me. And I actually was like, I'm going to use it for myself instead of just using it for clients. So, I guess, long story short, I developed
that is just
Evergain ads method from that. So it's basically helping, other solopreneurs, mompreneurs, other entrepreneurs to do the same thing, to be able to leverage these tools, not spend crazy amount of money. Obviously, you need to have an ad budget. You really do.
For sure.
But that will help to bring new customers to your door. That will help your pipeline to never be dry, because you're always going to be having somebody to say, hey, I want to reach out. I want to work with you. Oh, what do you do? I see. Yeah, I seen your ad. Yeah. And all that stuff, like to have that effect. So then by the time you offer your services or your product or whatever the case is to them, they're not completely cold. So that just helps too.
So if you keep it going, think about it. It's just like how Walmart forever keeps in your face their new thing where they deliver to you, and it's forever like, hey, free, da. So now and it's forever coming around, especially around Christmas time. Like right now, like forever, like we have the free delivery, or if you do this $9.99, So and I'm sure like we know Walmart has an amazing budget, right, for their marketing, but we have to, like you said, have a marketing budget for your brand and your thing, and that too. And like I said, for me, I've done the reels and all that different thing, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Yes, the strategy is the other part of it for sure, right? So
I don't know what I'm doing.
The brand awareness that you can use even $1 if it's something good, or $5 a day. that's a brand awareness strategy. That's not meant to get you sales.
Right.
But I think that's even a small little hurdle that I think I wanted to mention, because I want to break all the listeners' ideas down that you have to have $5,000 a month to market, spend ad. You absolutely do not. You absolutely do not. You have to start somewhere, and $5, $10 is absolutely good enough, especially if everybody's business model is a little bit different. So you'll probably have, different ways of selling, but the basics are still the same. You need people to see you. You need a brand awareness happening, and then you need a way to collect leads. You need a way to collect followers. And Facebook over the years has gotten really good, and Instagram now too, to be able to get people. You can get people right into your DMs now. You can run an ad and get them right to your DMs and have conversations. If you're into that, if you're into having the conversations, you can have a visibility post for you that is advertising the dumping ground, maybe little different snippets of people talking on the podcast, and it's just like a hype post that is just running every single day, 365, and reaching out to people. When someone comes on your website, here's the step. Well, how about we do this? Let's talk about my 3 steps of the Evergreens ad.
Yes, definitely.
So when we talk about online world, all the people, it's basically traffic, like a highway, right? All the traffic. So you have 3 levels of traffic. You have cold, people who's never met you. Like, we rate it like temperatures. If you're so cold, someone that's never met you, they've never seen your brand, they don't know you. Then you have warm in the middle, right? Middle of your funnel. So they may have heard of you. They may have came on your Instagram page. They may have dropped on maybe they have went to your website. They maybe have even came and listened to a podcast or pressed play on your podcast. Those are warmer people, right? So they're aware of you, but not like so aware.
Right.
And then there's hot. There's those people that are they've given you their email list already. They're in your email. They've already purchased from you, maybe.
Yes.
There may be avid listeners. They've been to your podcast every single week for the last 6 months. Those are hot people. You can see how many times, or Facebook sees how many times someone has come to your website. Right. So there's those 3 levels there. So cold, warm, and hot. So we kind of also break it into like a funnel view, because we think of it like from biggest to the smallest. So the biggest pool of people is the cold people that don't know you. The middle, a little bit smaller, and then the bottom of the funnel is like that little hot area. So it's all about using the right type of ads that match your customer. Right? Because we talk about a customer journey, and that's what a sales funnel is. So how does someone that's cold get to somebody that's paying you money? Absolutely. That's a journey. They go through a customer journey. We all do. Yes. So a lot of times it's, hey, I seen an ad from you, right? I just seen a post and you were talking about this thing that I love. Like what things are you like interested in that probably will like be an interest for your audience, for example?
Celebrate your wins, baby.
in your business, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe you would be talking about, hey, I'm celebrating my wins this week, and giving, like a little highlight of the wins that happened, right? Yeah. So whether it's just like a reel of you just dancing, and then like, the POV, celebrating all these wins. And that's it. It's just you dancing. That can be a cold ad, right? Because you're saying a message that your ideal audience is going to resonate with.
Right.
So maybe you're also calling them out too. So like if you want to specifically say business owners or solopreneurs or whatever, hey, solopreneurs, celebrating my win, blah, 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 right? That can be like a reel of you. So that will go on the top of the funnel. That's the first thing somebody's going to see. The first thing that somebody that doesn't know you, they're scrolling and then they're like, oh, it's supposed to stop them basically.
Right.
So now they have awareness of you, and then they just keep scrolling because, okay, whatever. They might not take any action. You didn't really ask them to take any action. You just wanted to call them out and say, hey girl, stop.
Yes.
Come look at my wins,
Right.
Then in the middle, you have a more of a warmer post that's meant to ask them something. So, hey, it's me again. Why don't you? I have this amazing thing that I know you're going to love. Come and check out my podcast because we're talking about this topic this week. And here's the link. Go and click it. So now you're asking them to do something.
Right.
So now they're going to be like, oh, yeah, I remember her from the, I remember this lady from the reel or whatever that I just saw. Like, I just saw that like yesterday. And now I'm seeing this. What?
Right.
So now you're piquing that curiosity and you're asking them to kind of consider you. So now they're kind of like in this consideration phase. So now they're going to come and check out what you have. Now that ad just did its job. It got that person onto your platform, not Facebook's platform, not Instagram's platform, your platform. So that's what that middle of funnel needs to do. It needs to be an ad that's going to get that person from social media into your world, like you're literally your world now.
Nice.
And now there's several different kinds of posts that you could use for that. You can just get them right off, which is what I like to do, right off of the platform. But you can also get them into your your messages if you're really good at like converting people in DMs or having conversations, or maybe you're giving them a little consultation in the DMs or something like that. A lot of times you can do that for the warm, right? Or you can say, which is my other favorite because I'm getting now their email. You can say, hey, you have this thing that you're going to love. Why don't you come over here and get it for free? Just give me your email address.
Right.
And, just a normal lead magnet, right?
Right.
So you can do that. And then at the bottom is, okay, you take a collection of everybody who's taking some sort of action. This is very small people. They know you. You've already started to build that trust with them because, people do business with people that they know, trust and like. So they know you already from the top of the funnel. They're starting to trust you from the middle of the funnel because you've already given them something valuable. And now it's time to say, hey, I have something for sale, or hey, let's talk about doing business together. Like, let me give you this thing that I know can help solve your problem that you're experiencing. So that's now when you send them to your sales page and you say, hey, here's the thing. I have something great for you. This is now where I love, because I love the bottom of the funnel, because now you can talk to them, even though it's on social media and you never met this person before. They're in your world now.
Yeah.
Now you can have like conversations with them, like code word kind of stuff. Like you can say stuff like, if you have like a saying like about the dumping ground, like only they're gonna know it now because they've already consumed your stuff. So now you can say, hey, come and get this thing. Here's the page, the link you can check out, and you're gonna love it. This is what it's gonna do for you, XYZ. Or hey, here's an application, fill it out to work with me. Or some people that need phone calls, hey, here is my call booking link, fill out, book a call with me because these are the reasons why you're going to want it. So that is basically the Evergains ad method. It's separating those 3 phases of the customer journey, and more importantly is matching your offer with the temperature or the stage of where the customer is at. Right. So a big mistake is getting someone that's cold and giving them an offer that's at the bottom of your funnel, saying, hey, come book a call with me right now. Right. So
it's funny because I work with our sales team. I have a corporate job, so I work with our sales team. So all of this is funny to me because when I'm on the call with the customers and they're and the salespeople, then they're just like, I'm like, you don't even know your customer. Like, you don't even know where they're at. Like, you're going from A to Z and they're like still at B. Like, slow down, like really listen, like really figure out what they're needing, their workflow, the solution you're going to bring. So that's basically what our slogan is a listening place where you can dump off your problems, but pick up solutions. Like,
nice. Love it.
That's our thing. That's why we're the dumping ground, right? It's because you're not just dumping off your things, your issues. When you leave, you're going to have solutions when you leave. It's not just, right, so that's how I work corporate every day.
So you'll be perfect at it because you get that. Customers need to go through a journey.
Yes.
So that's basically a lot of times when, because honestly, I hear it almost every day. Oh, ads don't work for me, or, things like that. It's because we were we're jumping stages, or we're not
mhm.
giving them the right offers at the right
Yes,
time. And
yes.
then honestly, just like a normal, this doesn't have to do anything with ads or anything like that. Even back in the day when there's no internet or nothing, there's a natural sequence of how people buy. They
Absolutely,
need to see an offer several times.
absolutely,
Not
absolutely.
everybody, there's only a very small percentage of people. I think it's like 3% of people that are immediate now buyers.
Nope.
But the rest of the people are like late adapters. And I
Mhm.
think that's like from the tech world.
Yeah, yeah.
So you have to repeat your offers over and over
Yes,
again. Like when
yes.
salesmen come to the door, a lot of times they're not going to buy the thing that the salesman
Yep,
is selling the
yep,
first time.
yep.
They'll be like, come back, give us
Mhm.
more information,
Right, right.
come back,
Absolutely,
right? So
absolutely.
that's also what ads are going to do. They're going to be able to revisit your customer, revisit them, and like guide them towards the sale. So yeah, that's really what I
Well,
do.
man, listen, I'm excited to know that you are out here. When I saw your collaborations and your testimonies from your different people, I was like, oh, she's doing it real, real. Like, you're not doing it play. You know how some people like, but you
I didn't come to
you
play.
know what I'm
No.
saying? You ain't come play no games at all. You came to be like, I'm showing out, right? So I mean, I'm just excited for your testimony, your collabs and different things like that. And I'm definitely gonna be when did your masterclass start? I know you're doing a masterclass, it's like 90 days or something like that. Am I missing that? Or is that correct?
Yeah, you're kind of like, yeah,
Oh,
you
okay.
have a couple of them together. So I was having a promotion that just ended for Black Friday, but I now have a boot camp. I now just opened up my boot camp. It's a beta program, because that way it allows me to actually get feedback,
Okay.
right, from different entrepreneurs. So I have a beta program. It's called Launch Profit Grow Boot Camp, and we go for 8 weeks.
Mhm.
And we set your whole ad funnel up from scratch, from the start to the end. We craft your messaging, we craft your targeting, like who are you reaching out to, what are you saying to these people. We craft your customer journey, like we were just talking about, like what are you going to say to your people at what time. Like those things are also important before you now spend your money on actually running the ads. We craft out your whole funnel for you, um, together. And you basically have me to hold your hand throughout this boot camp. We have 2 coaching sessions a week, a month, 2 live coaching sessions a month. So then that way, you can open up your ads dashboard
Mhm.
and say, okay, look, this is what I'm doing. This is what my
Right,
ads are
right.
looking like. And we basically workshop your ads to make sure that you're getting the best results possible. So we basically, by the end, by literally week 4, you have all your ads live and you are starting to make sales right then and there. You have, in the first week, we have your branding, like brand awareness ads live. So that's the first thing we do. Um, so that way, people are now starting to see your offer. You can start to see those, we open up the dashboard. It's all
Mhm.
about the numbers with ads. You have to get
Yeah,
your data back. Yeah.
yes,
So we
yes.
open up that dashboard after that first week, and you can start to see how many people has actually seen your face this past week, right? Like it's crazy. I just turned an ad on yesterday, and I'm just like, it was just like 358 people just, saw your ad. I just launched it yesterday. I spent $2.50. I'm looking at the dashboard right there. And I have KPIs that I'm going to give you. So
Mhm.
really nerdy. I don't want to go too deep, but
Oh, no, I
there's
understand.
basically, yeah, like you have to measure against something, right? So you have to know when the ad is working versus when
Mhm.
it's not, right? So we
Absolutely.
have we have KPIs, which is just
Mhm.
key performance indicators. So
Absolutely.
if it hits this point, then it's working. If it
Mhm.
hits this number or it doesn't hit this number, it's not working. Let's turn it
Right,
off and let's try
right.
again. So I have a KPI for one of the ads, which is like 100 $1 per 100%
Mhm,
video
mhm.
view watch
Right,
time.
right.
So if you spend $2, you want at least 2 people to watch
Mhm.
fully.
Right.
So my KPIs right now are like 12 people watched fully and I spent $2, right?
That's
Like it's not expensive to
yeah,
run to run ads as long as you're doing it with the right strategy. So that's all what this boot camp is. It's going to give you the right strategy to get your brand, your message, your offer out there so you can make sales on autopilot while working 50% less. Because remember, I developed this while I was pregnant.
Yes.
I was not at the computer 12 hours a day. I don't believe in the hustle anymore. I don't have time for it. I literally don't have time for it.
Yes.
So once you have this set up, which is obviously the best, sweetest part, once it's set up, you just run it. Go get your nails done, come back, and it's still running. So yeah, that's the Launch, Profit, Grow Bootcamp. And yeah, enrollment is open right now. So that's what we have going.
Oh, well, listen, I'm excited. Thank you so much. So what's going to happen in 9 months? We're doing, we always do a panel of all different business owners that come back, and they will share their wins and what they learned and this and stuff, so we can all help each other. The last one I was trying to schedule is just trying to get these business owners and everybody on the same collective dates. It's like,
yeah, that's a big task.
Yeah. So I'm like, I was pushing for November, but we had to push it back because I was thinking, I'm like, dude, this is Thanksgiving. I'm like, dude, this is Christmas. I'm like, maybe you should just launch it in 2024, maybe. So I think I'm trying to do February, a date, but you have to be on the show for 9 months or a year to kind of build the body of this is what I've done and this is what.
Since then, yeah.
So, but you will be back. So, because
I will, absolutely.
Definitely what we're trying to, we're always trying to do this collaboration with others because iron sharpens iron. And you don't know, I can have something you need, you can have something that I need, so we can make each other better. You know what I'm saying? We're not made to be an island. God put us together to intertwine, to communing, to collaborate and all that stuff. So, and we don't have to worry about competition because competition is yourself. You don't have to worry about run your lane and your thing and your journey. You don't have to compete with nobody. You know what I'm saying? So that's the people I roll with. We don't mind sharing. We will help and share, like, subscribe, all the things that you need as a business owner to thrive. All the people that's in my team or my circle, we are willing to get underneath you and push you to greatness, because we don't have a problem with that, because we know we're going to be great, because God's no respecter of person. If he do it for you, he can do it for me. So I don't have to worry about you succeeding me or I'm behind. I don't have to worry about that, because my coming time is my time, and what's for me is for me. It can't no devil in hell stop what's for me. So,
Amen.
So I'm just super excited that you came on the show tonight. Thank you so much for spending time with the Dumping Ground. We will definitely get together and collaborate and do some things and help each other be great. And I'm just grateful. Like I said, God bring people to me. I do some, I do be like, okay, let me throw it out there. Okay, God, whoever send them my way. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm just glad that he sent you my way. So
likewise, I'm very happy. And after this call, we're gonna get your ad live. We need to get your ad live. We need to get your ad live. We need to get at least one up. I think I should challenge you by. Okay. So yeah.
Okay, well, I'll accept the challenge, because greatness is not in comfort. So in order to get to your next level, it's definitely not in comfort.
In comfort.
I will definitely take the challenge. You just let me know what I need to do, and I'm willing to take on the next phase of growth. So thank you so much for joining us today. I wish you nothing but success for your baby, your husband, your brand, your launch, profit, growth, right?
Launch, profit, grow. Yes.
So all those 3 amazing words. Wish you nothing but success. Continue to make your 6 figures. Continue to sow seeds into others so they can develop and grow. And I look forward to talking to you in 9 months. But also, we're going to talk again so you can help me get my challenge.
Yes, we are. Exactly.
Because she said we got a challenge, and I'm challenge accepted. So I look forward to chatting with you and connecting with you so we can grow and do what we need to do in this entrepreneurship world.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank
It's been
you.
so
And
fun.
I cannot wait to chat with you again. You have an amazing Tuesday and blessings unlimited. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Okay,
guys.
bye.
Okay, bye.